World. Hello. Truth be told, I've tried to film this now like 7 times. The first 2 times, Georgie, the dog, not mine, my pal's, she needed to go for a walk. It's minus 30 plus. And then it's just been a day, so here I am with a lot to report, but nothing really to say. So we'll just let the grandmamas take over. How about that? What deck? Well, it can't hurt to get a little spirit animal oracle to get a flavor, finger on the pulse. How's everyone doing out there? Is everyone hanging in? Sorry, that was probably very loud. Okay. Oh my goodness, come here. Okay, let's call in those crowd favorites. God, Jesus, Grandma, Buddha, Archangels, all ascended masters, all of my benevolent ancestors, anyone that you're working and praying with. Oh, who's this? Oh, did we get some other cards? Oh, we did. That moon deck, hold on. What is this? Are you part of that deck? Yes. Hold on. Is that it? I'll set you aside. Okay. This card. Okay. Here. Let me put these. It's interesting when you haven't flipped the cards over. I do like looking at the patterns of the back of whatever deck. They feel right. Well, let's see what feels right. Oh, it's time to collaborate. That's nice. Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. Oh, and we're clearing out some clutter. But look, each one equals 1. That and card was 1. This is 28, which equals 1. Ooh, dragonfly spirit. Truth transcends illusion. Okay. Porcupine spirit. Time for beginner mind. Well, I also feel like it's a lot easier for the truth to be seen when we have a beginner's mind, when we're curious and open, expansive. Okay, well, let's get out the floral deck. Okay. Sorry, folks. Oh my god. I'm having a very emotional day, I'm not gonna lie. So now I feel emotionally spent. It's good though, you gotta get it out, you know? Yeah, I'm ready for a nap. I'm done with today. All right. I'm not gonna look. Okay, put these down first. Okay, so we got this card. What's next? You. Wait, where's that? Okay, you go there. Oh, are we laying 4, 4, and 4? Interesting. Okay, which one goes where? Do you go like this? Or do you go like this? The feeling. Does it feel right? Interesting, it feels good that way. Huh. Okay, we'll leave you for a second. You wanna go down? Okay. Who's next? You. Okay, let's put this back this way. It feels... Okay, I'm just gonna leave it for now. You're gonna go here. So 4, 4, and 4. You. Okay, big reveal. Ooh, the Ten of Swords. Ooh, Ten of Swords, big ouchies. But just like how I was saying, I was having an emotional day, and you got to get it out. All of this is up in the clouds. So, I'm not sure if you're feeling it all yet. You're definitely aware of this betrayal. Like the Ten of Swords, they should call it the Terrible Swords. Yeah, exactly. Ten of Swords, aka Terrible Swords. Well, and to be honest, I had therapy today. And collaborating, and also because the 10, it's about coming back to the 1. That's why 28 equals 1. 8 plus 2 equals 10. Deduced, that becomes 1. There's 2 ants here, and they're putting the puzzle pieces together. And that's exactly what my therapist and I are doing. Yeah. There's something here about collaboration as being like allowing people to help you in all the ways, but especially when it comes to things like, how do we process things? How do we understand things? Sometimes it's nice. It doesn't always have to come in the form of a therapist, but yeah, when it comes to kind of terrible business, you need supports at minimum, even if that's what the collaboration is. Okay, so clearing out the clutter, exactly. Maybe some emotional clutter. Let's see, what's next? Oh my god, the Queen of Swords reversed. Wow, I never have cards show up reversed. Yeah, the disconnect. There's a real disconnect from the heart, but Frog also dips in, is of the water, but of the land. And with this being reversed, it's like the flower isn't getting watered. Yeah, we got to get you back into the full expression and expansion of your heart. Yeah, clear out the clutter. And I think it's a lot of mental clutter too. Okay. And to be honest, this little frog holding this, like, what looks like a little dewdrop, I'm seeing that as tears. Yeah, I think you might be like me today. I think someone in the crowd needs a big cry. Now, we all have some seemingly complicated or judgmental relationships to crime. Sometimes it's a gendered thing. I don't know. Just like with anything, we can have complicated relationships. I've worked very hard in my life to access tears, truly. Crying did not come natural because of how I was raised. Not so much a gender thing, so much as like an abusive parent thing. But this is the thing, the Ten of Swords, it's I don't say that lightly. There's a psychic pain, a type of grief and sorrow. And sometimes it's a lot easier to deal with, to think about it, as opposed to feel about it. Okay, so we have truth transcends illusion, the 4 of coins, exactly. Instead of expansion, there's this contracting inwards. Not wanting to share. So interesting. Look at this. Look how these two are talking to each other. Yeah, the truth. The truth is that even when we get harmed, but okay, sorry. My point being though is that this guy, he's got on a little crown. And look who's got a big fat crown too. Okay. The truth of who you are. The truth of so many things, but also he's wearing like, I don't know, like a gold ring around himself. Ah, the gold ring is around himself, and then the other gold ring. Yeah, there's really something here about like not wanting to extend. Oh, interesting. Extend. Because when I was looking at the strength card earlier in the traditional deck, the strength card had come out. And what I saw in the words of strength was stretch. Again, extending, opening. It's a natural reaction when we get hurt by something to be like, talk to the fucking hand, get the fuck away from me, I'm going within. I don't have anything for you. Like, that's normal. Time for the beginner mind. Yeah, there's something here about being curious and open still. Suspending belief. Here, let's see what goes underneath. Oh my god, if this is the Hanged Man. Ah! Oh my god, suspending belief. Oh, fuck. I mean, I know this happens more often than not on my channel, but like, fuck, every time it happens like that, it is. Ah! You know what's so funny is that before I just started this reading, I was personally fighting with God and my spirit team. But what's so funny, what also gets me upset, is that like, I can lock in for you guys and any other client in my regular life. When it comes to me, I've said it before, it makes me crazy. But nothing does give me the shiveries when we fucking lock in like this. Exactly. Suspending belief. Spirit. Oh my god, you drive me nuts, but you know I do delight. Okay. Okay, so what's going underneath the Ten of Swords? The Star. Exactly. Healing. Oh, I love the color palette of this. This always makes me think of the reproductive system, like the womb, the uterus. Hold on, there's something there. I'm not sure what, but let's, hold on, oh boy. Okay, let's put this card like this so I can pull up these cards. Okay, so we have the Star going underneath the Ten of Swords. Yes. Oh, everything's all messy. Okay. Ooh, the Queen of Coins going underneath the Queen of Cups. So again, going back to what I was saying about frog spirit. Oh my god, literally. Okay, we're locked in. What I was saying about frog spirit, of being of the water and of the land. The two the two nurture each other. It's a very symbiotic relationship. Okay, so what's going on with the Four of Coins? Oh, death. Look, and the crown's off. Like a row where everything has the crown? Are you kidding me? Okay, what's going on with the Hangman? Are we ready to scream? The Magician. Okay. Hold on, let's back everyone up a little bit here. We need to make space. Okay, you go up here, you go up here. You. Okay, so then underneath the Star, the Three of Swords. Exactly. Oh my god, there's so much grief and pain here. Okay, so underneath the Queen of Cups, the King of Wands. Oh, interesting. Okay. So now we add a little fire. Okay. And then underneath Death, the King of Swords. Truth. Because truth transcends illusion. And nothing transcends and brings you the truth like death energy. Ooh, okay, what's going underneath the Hangman to the Magician? King of Panties. Wow. Oh my god, and the King of Swords. The row of crowns. Look, another crown. How incredible is that? Like, truly, if we were just to use scientific math, like, what are the odds? I have 4 rows, and this one row that is talking about one type of energy, every single one has a crown. I'm looking at all the other cards. None of them have crowns. You know what I mean? Sometimes, again, I'm even shocked by my own connection and, like, when the spirit gets going like this. Okay, let me focus. What do we want to clarify with? We'll continue on with this deck, I think. Do we? No. The runic. Okay. Okay, well, Grandmama, please don't keep me in suspense. Although that Hanged Man, that's still, jeez Louise, I love that. Okay, so the Ten of Swords, Grandmama, all the Grandmamas, Mother Mary, Saint Catherine of Siena, please. Mary Magdalene. The Seven of Pentacles. Well, I think it's been a long time coming. I feel like you've been in the Ten of Swords, or something grossly untenable has been occurring for a long time. Because as much as Seven of Pentacles is about what you put into something, and that can also be a part of it, but it's like, it's a long stretch of time that's indicated. And since there's one person here, and with the Ten of Swords, you've been going at it alone for a very long time. And that's part of this ant spirit, time to collaborate. So many of us, it's just in order to survive the things that we have survived and endured, we had to be the only person because no one else was showing up. And if they did, they were probably terrible and added and compounded to the situation. So part of healing is having to take another leap of faith and ask for help again. Even if that's just like in friendships, right? Where you're just like, guys, just being honest with the people, places, and things, including institutions, to being like, this is where I'm at. This is what I need. I can't do it alone, nor do I want to, and nor will I. You just make a decision. You're like, you know what? It's not for me to carry this anymore. And I absolutely deserve some help. I require some help. I want some help, and I will get some help. And whatever way that looks like, doesn't have to be therapy, but you know what? I can't recommend it. I know sometimes therapy, again, it's about accessibility. And if anyone who's done therapy for a bit, it's just like dating. You have to kind of date it's not about actually dating your therapist, but you know what I mean? But like, you have to sometimes go through a few before you land on a good one. I interview all my therapists now. And I'm not afraid to go into a therapy appointment or two with a therapist and decide you're not a good fit for me. And really, again, continuing to look and hold out for that great fit. I feel like the Grandmamas really helped me with finding, it was like a divine intervention. My therapist is the best. I have nothing but, they're like my trail angel. So like, assistance can come in many forms, but if it's around therapy, I know it's complicated, but like, oh God, it's when you get the best of the best, it's life-changing with other supports as well. Okay, so we got to get you into your heart. So let's talk about it. Grandmama, you were a lover. You were a Pisces. You were definitely in your heart. How do we get back in there? Well, if you choose to go into your heart, it's a success. Look at you. Triumphant. It leads to a victory. Because when we cry, that is cleaning out the clutter. It's literally getting rid of toxins. Like, crying is so much more than just a couple salt licks falling down your face. And perhaps for you, maybe like myself, the success is if you've been like me where you're like, you know what, I don't know how to cry, or I don't cry very often, or I feel uncomfortable, or like whatever that story is, when you work at it hard enough to be like, no, I want this thing. I want to be able to have this emotional expression and to lean in fully. That in itself is a success. So perhaps for you it's about the courage and the strength required to be able to sit and be uncomfortable and to feel all of the feelings that go with tremendous heartbreak and betrayal of whatever that is. Like, betrayal is kind of the first word that comes up with the Ten of Swords, but it's so much bigger and impactful than just that. Like, using kind of the same terms can really desensitize one to like the real meaning behind things. It's like it becomes, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't say this lightly at all. Okay, but you begin to your tears. There's a victory here. There's a success. Big time. And you're feeling it. Okay, so Four of Pentacles. Let's talk about it. Exactly, you're in your head. It's the Eight of Swords. It's the Eight of Swords to that Four. We gotta open up. We gotta open up the mind. We gotta open up the heart. We gotta suspend belief here. Okay, Hanged Man. What do you gotta say? Yeah, you're in the Four of Cups. And what's so interesting about this Four of Cups is that it is about an emotional boredom and an unwillingness to see past something, which is fitting for the Hanged Man. But because he has his head, like, this is in, like, body language analysis. This is like a power pose. So you feel empowered with this emotional state. Like, you don't feel that great. You don't want to feel too much. Like, there's like big feelings here, but what it's showing up in terms of emotionality is like Four of Cups. So like, I feel like there's a bit of fronting here with this power pose, where like, it's more than the Four of Cups. What is actually occurring is the Ten of Swords to the Three of Swords, so there should be a bit more proportionate expression of that. But instead, it's kind of just like, come see, come sa. Like, ho hum, I guess it is what it is. I'm like, it's a very like low grade, what feels like depression of like when, let's say, a crush that you had briefly didn't reciprocate. But what I feel like here is like trauma, terribleness. Yeah, like just terribleness. So this, and it aligns with this very cerebral approach of like acting as though, and this kind of ties in with like asking for help, like collaborating, and see how there's two here. And even in here, we see two, the two ants. Yeah, in this Four of Cups too, normally in the Four of Cups, you always see one cup left, or sometimes two still standing. Well, I guess the two is more in the Five of Cups. But there's usually one remaining, but all four are down. So like, even though you're downplaying it, yeah, there's a bit of fronting, masking, and downplaying, and being like, well, it's just Four of Cups. So like, depressy, a total bummer for sure. Like, I'm not pleased. But again, it's not proportionate to what I'm seeing, you know? Okay. So let's talk about the Star. Strength. This is the thing. We talk about healing. Healing is really just feeling. That is what healing is. It's feeling everything. Unencumbered, uninterrupted. Again, truthfully. The true expression. Really vocalizing and taking from within. There's something too about having, when we keep things within and we isolate, or again, certain things don't get expressed, it's a bit of a vacuum, right? So it's not to say that there can't be some accuracy, but as we know, when we're face to face, deep in the trees of our own life, it's really sometimes hard to untangle and tease out what is true. But at the end of the day, healing is just feeling. That is like the one thing that most humans can agree on. It's why we also love our comfort. We like to be massaged. We want to be, cushioned, comfortable. But comfortability is kind of basically a given death in a sense. You can't grow when you're comfortable. There's no incentive. Yeah, it's going back to this, you're a little bit too comfortable, but like there's so much more here. And being willing to sit in heartache and just howl instead of trying to talk it out. Like I'm always saying, and including to my therapist, is like there is no words for certain types of pain. It's meant to have a physical expression, because it's almost like doing it an injustice by trying to use words. There is no proper, it has to sometimes be a sound or a releasing. Do you know what I mean? And that takes strength, truly. It takes what is normally a man-eater, and it softens. Okay, Queen of Coins, Grandmama. Here, see, now we have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, that one cup that should have been standing in the Four of Cups. Again, watering the soil. So see, now we're seeing you. You're getting back into your cups. We're seeing water, a container for the emotion so that you can pour into, but also pour out onto. Beautiful. Is there anything else here? Okay, well, the Two of Swords, it's about a decision though. There's something here about like cerebral, like the head versus the heart. Going back to like suspending belief. I think the issue is that you've separated the two, where really is, if you just saw them as one continuous connection, there is no separation. You don't need to make the decision. It's just like when we're always like, you know, masculine versus the feminine, or like, but it's like in anything, it's like you need the whole thing. You need both aspects. So you don't need to choose between one or the other. Okay. Let's get into the Death card. The crown is off. Ooh, King of Wands. Is that because it's the old crown? And now you have a new crown? Stella got a groove back? Because, oh my god, yeah, we saw the King of Wands below. Oh, man. Yeah, old you is done. Look at you. You're doing the catwalk. Ooh, I'm hearing that song by Right Said Fred, I'm Too Sexy. Yeah, I'm hearing that part about the little catwalk. If you don't know that song, it's kind of a... For the younger folks in the crowd, you'll have to look it up. But for anyone 80s, early 90s, you might remember Right Said Fred. Okay. Okay. Well, it almost in a way, it's like as soon as you have this open, where it's just a clear shh, you know, it's just one. Then, kind of going into the solar, you take that and then literally turn it into, yeah, there's a new element. And then you can go forth and be dynamic. You can... Well, it's weird. I was going to say you can't create with fire, but I instinctively feel like you can. But I can't really think of an example. Mind you, when you burn it all down, just like those forest fires with that tree that has a special seed that only gets released in forest fires. Yeah, when the earth has been scorched and water has not been dropped. But it's the perfect conditions for this guy to pop out. Oh shit, cinnamon. Oh shit, cinnamon. Oh my god. Okay. And, see, look. Not only is he doing his catwalk with his big old wand, but the next card is Magician. And I'm seeing, again, the wand. Because see, we have all the elements now. It's about all of the elements. We saw that you're cerebral, so we already had air. The thing that you're struggling with is emotional, but we have the cup. Back to the earth, and then to fire. See, it's about homeostasis. That's all homeostasis is. It's all of the parts, all together, no separation. And then you have the materiality to create what you want or to heal what you want. Oh, just gorgeous. 9 million out of 10. Okay, wasn't focused. I did see the 9 of Cups, but let me focus. Okay, so what is the Magician? The moon. But the moon rules water, right? The water signs. Yeah, you gotta fight for your right. Like, not only protecting the heart, but like protecting. Oh yeah, they've got that big wand going. Realizing that the more emotional aspects are really precious and beautiful things. The mind is also beautiful, but again, when they work together, even when they're separate, they both have their beautiful aspects. But it's acknowledging, I think someone here is quite critical of their emotionality, or being sensitive, or being sentimental, or still being impacted by terrible things, you know? And so it's protecting that part of yourself, realizing it's an asset, it's not your enemy. There's far bigger things that are your enemy. It's not this little rose, you know? Okay, 3 of Swords. What are these birds saying? Oh my god, the 10 of Swords. Oh, Jesus. This is what I mean. I'm not saying this lightly. Whoever I'm reading for, it's like, this is extreme loss, betrayal, or trauma. You can fit all the things in there. Yeah. There might have even been some physical deaths in your life. Do you know what I mean? With this much, like 10 of Swords, we have the healing, the strength, but then to the 3 of Swords, like everything here is talking about just what I said. Like, this is big, and this is why collaborate. I know, I feel, I see. You can be a huge polar bear, but even as we've seen with animal videos, animals get fucked up. Big, powerful animals, they get fucked up and they need help, and they literally start coming to humans or whoever will help them. Do you know what I mean? Even emperors and empresses, like, shit happens to even the strongest of the strong. It is not weak to ask for help or to have more support and to want it too. Okay. Yeah, you have the King of Wands twice. Okay, so tell me about this King of Wands down here. 3 of Pentacles. We already had, did we not have? Yeah, we had another 3 of Pentacles. Wait, didn't we? No, wait, the 4 of Pentacles. There's another reading I did that had the, where's that 3? No. Okay, but even just collaboration. The 3 of Pentacles is always about collaboration. So there just could be someone who exemplifies and personifies the very qualities that you are going to be moving into. And they're going to work with you. They're going to show you how to create that for yourself. Because to be honest, it also really helps, again, too, when we have, sometimes it's even a mentor, but people, always look to the people that have what you want. And not because they speak it, but because they exemplify it. They're walking the talk. Everything is a demonstration. Look to the people who have whatever it is that you want, whether it's more patience, kindness, the type of work, how they show up in their relationships, how they handle conflict. Look for the people who exemplify the very qualities that you feel like you lack or would like more of, and then surround yourself, even if it's just in close proximity, observe what they do, see how they conduct themselves, learn from that. But I think you're actually going to be like literally working with someone. I think it's some kind of therapy, to be honest. Something along a healing modality. They're going to have what you want. You're going to see it demonstrated, and it's going to inspire you because you're going to see that it's possible. Fucking beautiful. Oh yeah, boys, let's fucking go. Okay, King of Swords again, and now you can see clearly, because we can lie to ourselves. There's things that literally seem like the truth, and it can sometimes take a really long time to see the distortions that we've come to believe. So always be willing to be surprised. Always call in your prayers. Please allow me to see, know, and experience the truth as it really is and not how I want it to be. Okay, King of Swords. The Hanged Man. Oh my god, 2 Hanged Men. See the emphasis. When there's 2s, like, seeing clearly. The King of Swords to the Hanged Man, again, seeing clearly. Seeing things as they really are. And sometimes in order to see things as they really are, going back to the vacuum, we have to have outside perspectives. And there is that saying, we're as sick as our secrets. Anything that we don't disclose or like have something to rub up against, yeah, we need each other to learn, but also to be like, hey, can I run this past you? Or like, I don't know. We need check-in points. More eyes on the prize and different perspectives will always help us. Okay, so then your last card is the King of Pentacles. Let's go. The Lovers. To me, this is the merging, the duality, mind and heart. In every which way that there's duality, it's balancing that. And this is Gibo. This is about abundance. Abundance of the heart. And this is about abundance. And we see all this gold and yellow, and gold and yellow. Well, guys, as if that isn't the most beautiful thing. Okay, so closing out. What else do you have to say? Too many. The truth. There's something here. You think that there's a truth about something and it's inaccurate. Even if it's around your ideas around, again, crying or healing modalities, there's something here. You're too comfortable in an emotional state and you're pretending like things are like just okay when really it is like a category 20 out of 10 where it's like no, crisis point. You need to actually be more alarmed, but you also need to suspend belief and like look at things differently. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave it here, Kitty Whiskers. That was literally a delight. And I know that you got this. Like, look, you're on the catwalk. Yeah. Okay, well, take care of your hearts out there. Take care of your hearts. Take care of your minds. I don't know, go do something nice and fun for yourself if you can. Whatever that is. Okay. Well, Stay blessed, stay golden.